We're going to start in mermaid position. We want to have the sole of the foot in line with the thigh here and this back leg behind. You can do this by raising your hips up onto a pad or a block if you want to make this move easier, or if your hips feel stiff. We're going to start with rotations here, so we sit up tall, bring the hands out in front at chest level and keep a 90-degree bend in the elbows. Inhale to prepare, and as you exhale, rotate. Inhale back to the centre and exhale to rotate the other way. Keep the shoulders back and down and keep the torso lengthened all the way through. Think of the chest as completing the whole rotation, taking the arms with you. You want to feel as if you're tightening in the area between the rib cage and the pelvis here, as if it's squeezing as you turn. We'll do one more each side. The last one here. And then we're going to take this into a side lean. I'm going to cross the hands across the chest. I don't want to touch the mic because I think that'll bother it, so I'll cross them a little bit looser. I'm going to reach to one side, back to the centre. It's going to be tougher coming to the other. You might not get the same range of movement. I'm going to inhale to the side and exhale to raise. Inhale to the side and exhale to raise. Good. Think of yourself as coming up tall each time and try to leave the legs as evenly weighted as you can in towards the floor. Ideally, our sit bones will feel evenly weighted in towards the mat, but I know that often doesn't happen. One more each side. I'm going to change and do the same set of moves on the other side. So we pick the legs up, move them round, and we start with our rotation. Inhale here and exhale to rotate. Inhale back to the centre and exhale to rotate. So ideally both sit bones will be sitting down onto the ground, but if they don't feel comfortable like that, you can raise them up onto a block. You want to keep the shoulders back and down through this move. We're going to do 2 more each way. Feel the tummy muscles drawing in tight as you rotate. The longer you can keep your spine, the more effective your rotation will be. Back to the centre, hands onto the shoulders, into our side bend. Inhale to the side here and exhale up tall. Inhale to the side and exhale to grow tall. So you want to keep thinking of yourself as gaining more height each time you return from this move. Keeping those shoulders low in the back. And make sure that head stays lengthened, it doesn't dangle down towards the side with you. All the work is happening through the waistline here. And last one each side. Back up and relax the hands down. Well done. 4-point kneeling now. Come into your 4-point kneeling position, shoulders low, torso lengthened, belly pulled in tight. We want to make sure that we're lengthened through the spine, so have a few tilts of the pelvis and settle somewhere in between the two, where you feel that your pubic bone and your hip bones are level. And there's a slight dip in the lower back. Just following the natural curves of the body. We're going to start with a leg extension. Inhale to prepare, exhale to stretch the leg along the floor. Inhale to return and change onto the other leg. As you change from side to side, maintain the stillness through the hips. So there's no real weight change or movement through the hips as you extend the leg out. Exhale to lengthen and inhale to return. Keep pressing the hands down in towards the floor so you're lifting your sternum upwards from the floor. Fix your eyes on a spot in front of you to keep the back of the neck lengthened and still. We're going to progress this on now by extending the leg away and lifting it up and returning. Make these two separate moves, extend and lift. That helps us keep our hips still and our tummy pulling in tight. Check you're still pressing the hands down in towards the floor. And just gently lengthen that leg away. Imagine yourself balancing something on your hips here. Just a book or a jelly bean. Don't let it fall off. We're going to do the same with the arms now. We just check our 4-point kneeling position again. Inhale to prepare and exhale to stretch one arm out in front. And inhale to return. As you extend the arm away, drop the shoulder down low into the back and keep lengthening the top of the head forward to find that stretch and length through the spine. You'll feel the stomach muscles engaging heavily here as you lengthen that arm away. So draw them in tight. Check your shoulders are still away from your ears, and that your body still feels lifted and lengthened from the floor. Even as you stretch the hands away, the shoulders still stay low in the back. Last one here. And then we're going to play around with these moves a little bit. I'll show you on the left side first so you get a good view of it. We're going to take the hand out in front, and as we exhale, we're going to pull it in towards the waistline. Inhale to stretch it out, and exhale to pull it in. Keep that stomach pulled in tight, and allow the shoulders to always remain the same height from the mat. Exhale to pull the elbow in, and inhale to release off. Really drawing that elbow in tightly towards the body, working through the muscles underneath the armpits here, and strengthening through the side of the body. One more. And we'll change onto the other side. Find the form. Raise the arm, inhale here, and exhale to pull the elbow in. Inhale to extend away, and exhale to pull in. Keep the sternum evenly placed from the mat. So there's no tilting through the torso. Make sure the shoulder blade stays low, and the shoulders should feel quite flat in the back here. Keep drawing that belly in and stretching that hand forward. Two more. You can take a rest if you want to, But we're going to carry on here. We're going to circle the arm around. We take the hand out to the side, pull these belly muscles in, lengthen through the torso, and circle. They're small circles. And we're going to change the direction here. I'm just breathing comfortably with this. I'm not letting the breath follow the circle. 2 more. Keep that sternum raised. Come back and we do the same on the other side. And we change direction. Keep that neck lengthened. Last one. And we return the hands back down. And we can rest off here. And here's our side lying series. If you get neck pain, you can bring a cushion underneath your head here to rest onto your arm. Drop your shoulder low, stack the shoulders, stack the hips and make sure the waistline is lifted and the torso lengthened. We're going to start with a lower leg lift. So I'm going to take my leg back behind, but if you want to, you could bring it forward and rest it gently on the floor. Inhale to prepare. Exhale to lift this lower leg. You can see that this isn't a very big movement, and that's because if I made it bigger, I'd have to push my waistline in towards the mat. And I don't want to do that. I want to keep that height through the waistline here so the torso stays lengthened. I'm drawing on the muscles in the inner thigh to raise this leg up. And trying to keep this back leg nice and still and the weight under the foot nice and light. So I'll do 2 more here. Now I'm going to come into a top leg lift, but I want to take my bottom leg forward for a little bit of support. So I'm going to bring it to the front of the mat here. This heel is in line with the hip here. The waistline remains lifted. I'm just going to leave my hand on my hip. My shoulders remain stacked. You can bring your hand down for support if you want to. We inhale to prepare and we exhale to lift the leg. Feel yourself stretching the heel away from you as if you want it to be drawn to the other side of the room away from the hip. That's going to help you keep your hips steady as you raise the leg up. We're looking for the muscles on the outside of the hip and in towards the buttock to be activated here as you raise and lower the leg. I'm keeping the edge of the foot in line with the ceiling here. We're going to take this leg up now and circle it round. We inhale to start our circle and we exhale to finish. That waistline stays still and lifted all the way through. Two more. And we're going to change the direction of the circle. The shoulders stay relaxed. The tummy working hard to stabilise the hips so the leg can circle round. And that's allowing you to work effectively through these muscles in at your bottom and the side of the leg. Two more. We're going to rest off for a moment, then we're going to do a second set, this time with the feet turned up the way, so the toes are going to turn up towards the ceiling. We're going to raise and lower from here, but it might be a slightly smaller movement. Keeping that heel in line with the hip. And we're adding extra tension in towards these bottom muscles here, so you feel it a little hotter and a little tighter in towards your bottom. Keep these hips stacked in place as if you've got a skewer running through them. 2 more here. And then keeping that toe turned up slightly, circle the leg around. We're rotating from the hip joint here, so although I'm saying turn the toe up, it's the whole leg that's turning upwards. Keep that same pace, even if the movement becomes smaller. 2 more. And change direction. Four more. Inhale to start, exhale to finish. And relax. You can take this leg forward and sweep the arm back to stretch it out. And we'll change onto the other side and do the same thing again. So lengthened out along the mat, squaring our shoulders, lifting the waistline, stacking the hips. You take this leg back behind, but you can make this move easier by bringing it forward. Just make sure that hip stays stacked. We're going to start off with a lower leg lift. Exhale to raise and inhale to lower. The foot is gently pointed away. And the whole torso stays still and stacked through this move. So there shouldn't be any movement forward and back. Just the up and down working from that hip and feeling the muscles in the inner thigh having to engage to lift and lower. We're light underneath this opposite leg here. And 2 more. And now I'm going to bring this leg down and extend it and let this bottom leg come forward just to give a little bit of balance through this move. Just going to check that I still have those hips and shoulders stacked. And then I'll raise this leg up and start to lower and raise from here. So exhale to raise and inhale to lower. Now even though my hand is on my hip, I'm not letting my shoulder ride up. I'm going to keep it down because it's helping me keep my rib cage in place and my waistline lifted. Now we'll take this leg up to hip height and we'll circle it round. Inhale to start the circle and exhale to finish. Try to keep the weight away from this lower leg here so it stays evenly stacked through the hips. Just small circles. And we'll change direction. Inhale to start and exhale to finish. Four more. 2 more. We can let that leg relax down for a moment, check our body line, check our torso position. We're going to do the same set of moves again, this time with that foot turned outwards and upwards. So the whole thigh is going to turn upwards just slightly. We'll keep that heel in line with the hip. Exhale to raise and inhale to lower. Keep those shoulders stacked. Two more. And then we're going to circle that leg around. Inhale to start and exhale to finish. Trying to keep that toe turned upwards so the whole thigh stays rotated. 2 more here. And we change direction. 4 and 3 2, and last one. You can take this leg forward and sweep the arm back behind. Take a moment to rest. Well done. We're going to come into the series of 5 now. It's a series of 5 moves that are traditionally done in Pilates, one following the other. We're going to take it slowly and just teach our way through it. And then as we progress, we can speed up a little bit from here. The first one is one that we already looked at earlier, a single leg stretch. Maintaining our neutral spine position with our gap in the lumbar spine, we lift the legs up, little gap in between them. Now earlier we did a single leg stretch, keeping those feet level. And now we're going to do it slightly differently. As we extend one leg away, we're going to hug the other one in towards the chest. Inhale here, and exhale to lengthen. Inhale here, and exhale to stretch. You can progress this move a little bit by raising the head from the floor. But if your neck gets tired, then you can bring it back down if you want to. We're going to do one more here, and then we'll relax back down, but keep these legs lifted. The next move that you're going to do will be a double leg stretch. Now the full move is to raise the head, inhale to prepare, exhale to extend the legs away, heels together, toes apart, circle the arms round and return. But we can modify by keeping the arms extended out and extending the legs up a little bit higher to make the move easier. As you gain in confidence, you can extend them out further, and you can add the head lift. Just showing you all the different options here until eventually you can bring the arms with you. We start off with the knees apart and the heels together. As we extend the legs away, the heels come together and the knees come together. We'll do 2 more here. And one last one. And relax back down from here. We're going to lengthen the legs up high towards the ceiling now and come into a double straight leg lower. From here, the arms are relaxed on the floor, and you can do this from your chest lift or your head relaxed position. We're going to lower the legs all the way down to the floor as we inhale, and we're going to exhale to bring them back up again. Now, this is quite a tough move and it's not for beginners classes, so we're going to modify this by making just a small movement. You have to make sure that you can keep that back in neutral. So if I take my hands to the side, hopefully you can see that the back remains in place all the way through the move. So whichever move you choose to do here, we're going to do 3 more. I'm showing you the full move, but you can modify it as much as you need to. From here, we can hold on to the legs. We're going to take hold of one leg as we let the other one drop down to the floor into scissors. Again, you can do this with your head on the floor, or you can raise the head up. It's quite a fast move. Even with the head on the floor, it should feel doable, but you can modify by bending the legs slightly if you want to. So here's the full move. And we'll do 4 more, and 3, and 2. The last one here. And come back into your double knee fold position. Bring the hands in behind the back of the head here and raise into your chest lift. As you extend to one side, you're going to take the chest into an oblique chest lift. So you're turning towards the opposite knee. Inhale to the center and exhale to the change. And we're going to crisscross from here. Keep the tummy in tight. Make sure the back doesn't arch. And if you want to modify this, you could just keep your head on the floor and extend that leg away. Or you could take that leg higher, and that's going to make that move easier. So it's up to you how hard you make the move. We'll do one more each side. And we can return the head and return the legs back down to the floor. It's a tough series. Well done. And at last, time for the stretches. We're going to start in our mermaid position here. Take one hand down to the floor and reach the other arm away. Stretch it out overhead, lengthening all the way through the side of the body. Try to keep the arm in line with the ear. Make sure that this bottom shoulder doesn't shrug up, but you keep it low and lengthened. As you inhale, feel the stretch increasing, and exhale to pull the hand further away. We're going to lengthen this back leg out along the floor now, and we're going to rotate over into our pigeon. So from here, both hips level with the floor, and we can lengthen our hands out in front, pressing the chest down to the floor. Inhale here, and as you exhale, walk the hands in, lengthening upwards, stretching through the front of the hip. We're going to take the legs back into a 4-point kneeling position now. And come into a thread the needle. So we take the hand through, lower the shoulder to the floor. I can bring this opposite hand up. You can rotate the hand now, take it into the back of the hip and press the elbow up high. Hold it here. And we can relax off. We're going to do the same set of moves from the other side. So we change our leg position. We come down onto one elbow and we stretch the arm away. Make sure you're dropping that shoulder low as you reach the arm out, and try and keep the hand in line with the ear. Keep breathing through this stretch, working all the way through the side of the body. We're going to lengthen this back leg out behind us now. And we're going to rotate so that we're facing towards the mat, coming into our pigeon stretch. Stretching through the buttocks here. And we can let the chest relax down towards the floor. Walk the hands in towards you. And raise up towards the ceiling here, stretching through the front of this hip. And we'll take this into our 4-point kneeling position and into our thread the needle. We can raise this top hand high and bring it in towards the back of the opposite hip, leveraging upwards with the elbow to increase that rotation. Keep the head softened, the weight's through the shoulders, not the head. And come back up from there. You did it. Well done. Big clap. And relax.